Are you curious about what is a healthy body fat percentage for a man? Today we're going to be breaking down what the numbers say, what makes good body fat percentage, what makes a healthy muscle composition, and how we can get there. Let's get into it. Oh, and don't forget to stay to the end because I'll be sharing some details on my exercise tracker that you can download for free. So, my name's Andy J, and I'm here to help millennial men feel our best. Welcome to the Brotherhood. Like I said before, today we're going to be looking at this age-old question about what is a healthy body composition, a healthy body fat percentage, and really breaking down the numbers so you get a better idea for goal planning, because that's really important. So if you know what a good body fat percentage you want to attain, then you can work towards that more easily. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and follow. We're building community here. Let me know what you have worked towards as far as body fat percentage. What do you think a healthy body fat percentage is? I'd like to hear so we can talk about this a little bit more deeply. Also, I'll be coming out with more videos on hormone optimization, how to feel better as we age beyond our 40s, researching certain exercises and how we can get the best from our time in the gym and save the most time possible, and so much more. Getting into the content here, the American Council of Exercise, ACE, basically says that it breaks down a few different categories as far as what are body fat percentages and what they deem as healthy or not healthy. So basically 2 to 5%, they call this essential fat. I would say you're probably feeling like you're going to die if you have a body fat percentage that low. Athletes are generally between 6 and 13%. Fitness is 14 to 17%, and an average is 18 to 24% for body fat percentage. Anything above that would be considered obese by the American Council of Exercise. Now, the School of Health in Harvard basically says they just give like a general range of what's healthy, and that's anywhere from 10 to 20% for a man. So the key takeaway here is really anything up to 20%, you're probably safe to say you're in the range of a healthy body composition. Yes, you may not be looking like some of the influencers that are totally jacked, roided up, and just taking pictures in the best light possible. But, from a health standpoint, to actually feel good, you're probably doing okay if you're sub 20%. Now, the other important topic I want to talk about is so we're talking about body fat percentage, but also understanding the influence of muscle versus fat gain. And so when you're trying to get into a healthy range, to be mindful of this, because you can lose a lot of body fat, but you could also lose a lot of muscle depending on what you're doing. You could also gain a lot of weight and you could gain a lot of muscle, and conversely, you could gain a lot of weight and just gain a bunch of fat. So you have to really know how to do this properly. So you're going to make sure you maximize maintaining muscle and lowering body fat, and being in a healthy range that way. That's how I like to think about it. So the first thing is understanding a good exercise routine. So I'm a big proponent of strength training, resistance training, basically lifting weights to basically increase muscle gaining. I've made some other videos before as far as like specifics and strategies, but really just incorporating, making sure at least to incorporate compound exercises like squats, deadlifts, bench presses to basically hit the most you can. Cardio is good, more from a cardiovascular standpoint. I wouldn't really look at cardio as a way to lose body fat, but it is healthy from a heart standpoint, but you also don't want to overdo it. I'm a bigger fan from a cardio standpoint to use more walking or less intense type of cardio. And if you want to do more intense cardio, doing it very infrequently. From a diet standpoint, really the main thing is just making sure that you're getting adequate protein to maximize maintaining protein or maintaining lean tissue in the body, but also being able to build more. The way I like to talk about this is basically taking your height in centimeters. So doing that calculation. And then from there, that will basically tell you about how many grams of protein you should be consuming per day. To track that, I recommend using an app like Cronometer. That's a really good tool to be able to track your calories, your protein, fat, carbohydrates, all of that. Another thing to be aware of is there's genetic limitations. I know for myself included, I've been working out for multiple decades, and I do not look like some guys walking around in the gym that don't know what they're doing just because they're genetically gifted. So, it's just kind of a harsh reality for us to accept. We're all in different sort of genetic predispositions as far as from a body composition standpoint. But I can say, though, no matter what your genetics are, you can still be able to maintain a healthy body composition. There's no excuse, in my opinion, for someone to be excessively overweight. There can be some issues as far as thyroid and some other things, but for the most part, particularly for men, we really can get ourselves at least pretty into a pretty good range. There's really no excuse for us not to be at least 20% body fat. Anything above that, we can actually bring that number down. And the other important part is just proper rest and recovery, maintaining enough sleep. That's super important. Managing the stress. All these factors will help us in our journey to get better body composition. I have some other videos too. I'll try to link them at the end as far as like working more on a hormone standpoint of this. But right now for this video, I'm being more high level. And the other thing is if you may be a little bit overweight, but you're trying to put on more muscle, as long as you have a specific goal and you know where you're going, it's okay to be a little bit fat for a little bit of a time. Like for me right now, I'm on a bulk phase where I'm actually trying to increase my calories fairly significantly. I'm eating upwards of, most days if I don't eat over 4,000 calories a day, I notice my weight starts to fall down and lose weight. So in order for me to gain more muscle, it's beneficial for me to be eating a little bit more, and my body fat percentage is a little bit higher for right now. But I know that once I get to my goal weight, then I can start doing strategic dieting, which then I'll cut down my body fat percentage, and then I will be in a healthy range again. So it's really a matter of understanding your body and where you are at from a body fat percentage standpoint. And then from there, then you can make strategic choices if you want to continually choose to bulk up or to start to cut down. For example, and this varies, I would say, a lot depending on someone's genetic predisposition and how they're working out. But once you understand that if you're gaining weight and you're working out consistently, you are also gaining muscle, that can also help with the planning as I was talking about. So as an example, if someone has like really elite genetics and they gain maybe 18 pounds of total weight, that could actually be upwards of 12 pounds of muscle gained and 6 pounds of body fat gained. So they're still gaining body fat even with like elite genetics. Someone that's a little bit less optimized, it could be anywhere, it could be kind of the inverse of that basically, where they may gain 6 pounds of muscle, but then 12 pounds of fat, but they still gain 6 pounds of muscle. So then once you start dieting down, you can maintain most of that muscle still, as long as you're getting enough protein, getting enough sleep, all that. And then you're basically, you may be at a lower body fat percentage as before, but you actually weigh a little bit more because now you have less body fat and more muscle. So that's something we want to work towards, in my opinion. So what I would suggest doing is getting, and maybe I can put a link in the description for a scale to at least track and get a general idea of your body fat percentage. There's other tools like a DEXA scan, InBody. There's a lot of different tools that can help give you an idea to measure. And then I recommend using, if you go to like do a DEXA or like an InBody, to do that maybe once or twice a month. If you have a scale at home, I recommend doing it at least once a week so you can monitor your progress. So I hope you found that useful to at least think about body fat percentage in a different way, to not be so hard on yourself, to know if like you do have a high body fat percentage, as long as you're working out in the gym and then building up more muscle tissue, if you're weighing a little bit heavier, that's not necessarily a bad thing. It's more important to focus on your body fat percentage, and then from there, decide to make realistic goals with yourself of where you want to go as far as cutting yourself down, as far as losing the body fat and then maintaining the muscle. Or if you feel like you need to bulk up more to basically put on more muscle, that could also be a strategy depending on where you are. So there's really no perfect answer, but at the end of the day, you do want to, for the most part, be within the healthy range of body fat percentage. So your hormones are in balance, you're getting good sleep, you're not feeling bad. Because what I do also notice is when you get too low in body fat percentage or get too high, you start to feel kind of crappy. So those are my general thoughts. Let me know what you guys think. Drop a comment below. Don't forget to like and follow for more topics on this. Again, I'll try to link some videos around here that relate to this topic to get a little bit deeper into the hormone optimization standpoint on how to improve metabolism, also how to efficiently work out to get the most from your time. But I think that's it for now. I hope you're having a fantastic day, and I will talk to you soon. All right, take care.